All right, we want to welcome everybody today to Mom and Dad Talks, where our favorite two people are always mom and dad. So, Mom and Dad, we want to welcome you to Mom and Dad Talks today. And today is something very, very interesting that you don't see a whole lot of now with the modern family. You start to see the change of it. And that is the importance of families eating together for dinner or lunch, whatever. But the importance of having a time where the family just eats together. So I want to get your perspective on how you guys view a family get together where everybody sits down. What's your perspective?
My perspective is it brings you closer together when you sit down. For instance, when I was coming up, my father worked in Studebakers. He would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then you go. We didn't have breakfast, we didn't have lunch together, but at 6 o'clock we all ate together. We all ate together, and then TV meals were just starting to come in. But we bought TV trays, and we all sat down watching TV. And I remember watching Douglas Edwards and the News. I always watched that together, and that was the way that we were brought up. I was eating meals together, and there was a closeness there because the typical question was, "How was school today?" How was school today? And you had to reply on that. And to me, that impressed the importance of school because my parents were interested in how I was doing in school.
Wow, I mean that thing's totally interesting. So, Mom, I don't know what's on there, but question: so did you have family time when you were growing up?
Yes, we did. However, my daddy worked 2.5 jobs sometime. And so he worked from 3 to 11, Monday through Friday. No, Monday through Thursday, excuse me. Because he worked the morning shift on Friday because of the Sabbath. However, working a 3 to 11 shift, he was not at supper time with us. It was my mother fixing the meals for the children. But on Friday night and Sabbath was our family time to get together and have family meal. So that's the reason, one of the reasons why I welcome in Sabbath, because it reminds me of coming together as a whole family as a whole to eating at the supper table together those 2 days.
And so let me ask you a question, Mom. So did your dad, because Dad answered part of my question there, saying that his father would ask him a question to engage his kids, and stress the importance of what's important for the family that you do. Did your father ever do that with you guys when he ate down, or he was just wanting to know? What did he do to engage you guys? What made it special?
Well, as I say, we had only the meal on Friday evening, and
we're talking about the Friday night. What did he do? Something? Did he talk to you? What did he do?
Oh, we had family worship, and that was a highlight of our getting together and having family time, welcoming in the Sabbath. That was the biggest thing to look forward to every Friday evening at sunset.
Okay, he didn't talk to you at all.
When you say talk to us,
like at dinner, Dad just expressed that his father.
We would the subjects would maybe vary, but I can't recall any specific, conversations that we had on certain subjects.
We're going to ask for a specific conversation. We're just saying that he would engage you guys and just find out about your week or about your day. It wouldn't be just a thing of, hey, let's just over here and worship. And
not necessarily how our week went. It was, it was just that we didn't talk about what we did during the week. We were so busy, not so busy, so eager to worship in the Sabbath at sunset Friday till we put away the cares of what we did during the week.
Okay, that's very, very interesting, because I remember myself growing up in your house, and I felt special because I felt special because you guys would always engage me about my thoughts, my ideas, what I do in school. And I just felt so like a part of the family, like, okay, I'm part of family too. And this is my day, mom and dad. Now, probably some of the times you didn't want to hear what I have to say or talk about.
It makes a difference. It makes a difference when you are an only child versus 5 others, 4, 5 of us. You don't zero in on any particular one, but because we only had one, you were our main subject.
Yeah.
I just
And the thing is, when my father went into business for himself as a plasterer, that we always had supper together. Always had supper together. Sometimes we had breakfast and sometimes lunch together, but always supper at 6 o'clock. Supper time.
But it was set time. Hey, this is the time when family gets together.
That time. It was 6 o'clock, and we always had to watch the news. Always had to watch the news, and that was the time when Captain Midnight was on, and Heckle and Jekyll was on. But Dad ruled the house. When he said we watched the news, we watched the news. And at first we were rejected to it, but after a while, we got used to it, and then still to this day, I watch the news.
Yeah,
I watch the news. So it's amazing how these concepts you grow up with become lifelong patterns in your life.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that parent has to realize is that we set the patterns for our children as they grow up. And as you see your children grow up, you can see these same patterns embedded in them.
And you're right about that, Dad, because you really focus on something here. Because I remember eating those meals, and I remember watching Wild Kingdom.
Yes.
Wild Kingdom, sitting on my dad, sitting on his stomach, or kind of, but I couldn't go anywhere else. I couldn't go play. We had to watch Wild Kingdom together. And to this day, my wife reluctantly thanks you for that, because I watch a whole bunch of nature shows. And the killing part about it is, Dad, is that, when Carlin came over, whenever Wild Kingdom, we all had to watch Wild Kingdom. Now, the funny thing about it is that, my wife did not, Carl and I, we didn't participate. That's my cousin. We grew up like brothers, if you don't know, listeners and stuff. And I had him on here talk one time. But the funny thing about it is that my wife went to my cousin Carlin's house for something, and I wasn't able to make it. I think she had to sing or something like that. And Carlin said, Suela, that's my wife's name, everybody. I gotta have you watch this show. And Suela was like, oh, I gotta see this show. And then he turned on the show, and it was the same show I like, which was River Monsters. And she was just like, the same stuff Todd likes. And it's just funny how that generationally gets passed down. What you just said, Dad, is that the importance of it. And I mean, and I remember when I did have a daughter, we would sit down, and I remember I would ask her, so what was your day? And she would just go on, well, Daddy, my day was blah, 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 blah. And it was just so fascinating, and kind of see what her little brain was thinking, So, I mean, I can see, for you all, when I talked, because I like to talk, unfortunately, how did you guys take that?
Well, I took it as an interest in your child's life. When a parent shows interest in the child's life, then the child responds with, oh, Mommy and Daddy's interested in what I do, so therefore I will do my best. Now, here's a picture I'd like to show you. Do you remember this picture? Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it.
Tell us about that picture.
I used to work at the company that we used to watch the show called Wild Kingdom, and I finally got to meet the person, Mutual of Omaha Insurance Company, and I got a chance to meet him. We took a picture with the tiger and stuff, so it was kind of cool. I even actually went to the 10th floor where they filmed Wild Kingdom and over there at the time, back in the 60s, I guess in the early 70s and stuff. And I was just excited, like, oh, I grew up watching this. And, it was just a great experience, because I sat there with my dad and we watched Wild Kingdom, and here I am working for the company with Wild Kingdom. So I just thought that was amazing.
Yeah, what was the name of the naturalist?
Oh boy, you had we had Marlon Perkins, who starred.
Marlon Perkins,
yeah. And then forgot to do Jim. His name was, I forgot this last whatever, but he would say,
Marlon Perkins was the one that would always say, look, Jim, there's a wild elephant. Isn't that wonderful? Well, Jim would be the one that going over there, risking his life, capturing that elephant, while Marlon Perkins was sat back watching him.
Yeah. Go get him, Jim. And, you know, it was.
Now look at that snake. Look at that snake, Jim. Go capture that boa for us. And he would be there wrestling with the boa. So it was quite interesting.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. That was reality TV before it became reality TV for us.
Yes.
We were these guys before the Crocodile Hunter and all this other
Yeah.
That was the precursor. If you get a chance to see the older ones there, and it was very primitive, but it was exciting and fun and dangerous. And like, oh yeah, you know, had to watch animals kill other animals, and I would cry. And you know, Dad, this is the part of life, son. And you know, I mean, that was a great way of introducing me to life. You know, Mom, what'd you want to say?
I was listening.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure I didn't, but you know, but that those were some moments that I remember. And it's funny, I can't end up working for that company. And it's funny that to this day, you're right, Dad, I watch nature shows. It's like when it comes on, like, ooh, let me see something I haven't seen before. So I've always found it that fascinating that you do carry on what your parents give to you. And still, so if you want to create some value, your kid's not going to always keep everything you do, but a lot of things you do, they will keep. And they will translate into the next generation. And it's funny, I'll see what's kept and what's not kept from every generation. Before we end, we kind of got off subject just a little bit, but the importance of having a meal and the importance of having an ideas and talk to your parents and stuff like that is very, very important for the development, I believe, in your child, because it shows you care. It shows, you know, where they're thinking and what they're thinking and how they're thinking. And you get it every day. You know, every day you need to talk to your child, you know, every day, and know what's going on with your day. Because, you know, as they get older, sometimes they get lost. And that's when somebody else starts training your child.
Right.
Because you think that you're done training them. No, training goes on for a long time. And that contact and that stuff has to be given. So you have any final thoughts before we close today, Mom and Dad?
I would say my final thought is, for parents, it's very important for a parent to be involved with their child. Go to the PTA meetings, the open house meetings, the baseball games, the basketball games, the football games, because to show that you are interested in your child gives your child some self-worth.
Yeah.
I'm worth something. You know, the world may hate me, but my mom and dad, they love me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important for a child's self-esteem.
Wonderful. Well spoken. Mom, any thoughts before we close?
No, it's just good to always sit down together to eat and not eat alone.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, meals are important.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it brings a bonding together when you eat together.
And that's one of the benefits of this COVID, is that families come together and they eat together, they play together, and you know, you're bound in your house. So you become closer to your family, closer to your brothers and sisters. Even though you may not like them, you become closer.
Yes, you get to get with them every day until they get out the house at 18. But that's wonderful. And you know what's real funny, everybody, before we close? We are all wearing red today. Wow.
Oh, how about that?
Vibes. Hey, the connections over the long distance, folks. This is awesome. So
it's the brain waves that go out.
Great minds run the same channel.
Yes. Great minds think alike. So anyway, love you guys. Still part of you, even though it's COVID. Hope you enjoyed Mom and Dad's talks and know the importance of having a meal and why a meal is important and what to do with your meals. So anyway, hope you have a blessed day. And next time on Mom and Dad Talks, thank you.